Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries. In this video, I have another planner set up for you guys. I've been making my way through my rather large stack of planners that I'm trying to use for 2025, and we officially are now on to my Magic of I book here. So this is the Magic of I A5, I think it's called Astrological planner. I literally just blanked. I had the little description and everything. Anyways, the color is deep moss. It has this fabulous, lovely gold foiling on it. All the edges are foiled with this kind of like hollow gold. It's absolutely gorgeous. This is, I think, my 4th or 5th year using a Magic of I, and every single year I feel like their covers just get more fun. Like, they just come out with really cool colors. Yeah, the setup for this is gonna be honestly a bit minimal. I don't really have a whole lot that I want to do in this. Also, quick caveat, I apologize if you can hear any of my dogs. They are just going nuts in the house because it's been raining all day and they're having a lot of fun. Also, please pay attention to timestamps in the description. I will have this sectioned out in timestamps in the description in case you're interested in any of that. Okay, I don't even know what I was talking about. My dogs distracted me. Right, I don't really have a whole lot of plans for setting this up because this is more of a daily type of thing. So this is going to be a pretty minimal setup, mainly decoration, but I will be sharing how I'm going to be using this in like a daily sense with you guys, so there's also that. First off, this planner belongs to you page. This is like the opening header page, you know, what's your name? And with this book, since it is astrology based, it also asks you if you want to put your sign, your sun sign, your moon sign, or your rising sign. And I can go ahead and go ahead. I can't, words. Take a breath. Okay. Recentered. Jesus. I'm going to go ahead and fill out this page. I am going to use, I think, my black Pentel signed brush pen to write my name really quick. I'm debating on putting like a sticker over this, but I think I just want to write it to be simple and done with it. And I can live with that. So I'm going to go ahead and write down my sun, moon, and rising. And we're going to move right along. Oh, this is just a Tool gel pen, TUL. I think it's a 0.7, but it could be a 0.5 millimeter nib. I honestly don't remember. I just bought a multi-pack a million years ago and have been using my stuff. Okay, so the beginning pages in this book are mainly information pages. I originally used to use this planner as it was intended for like the optimum lifetimes and kind of like going with the flow. Since my astrology practice has kind of furthered, I have not really referenced this material since the beginning, but it's really nice that they put it every single year in the book in case you want to re-reference it or just have a newer version. Maybe you took notes all over the first ones you got. I don't know, but I think it's really cool. So I'll flip through these kind of slowly, and then I do want to talk a bit about the optimum times in case you're interested. So this is the optimum times life page here, and basically all of this is a nice summary of the interpretation of what's going on for that day based on where the planets are, where the moon is, and what the creator of this book deemed the interpretations would be. So if you go to one of the monthly pages on the monthly square, it will have one of these items listed down, you know, turns to gold, stroke of genius, and it'll have like a plus or a minus or nothing next to it. And this little paragraph here next to each one of these is like a description of, you know, what could possibly be the interpretation based on the author's interpretation. So it's very much like their interpretation. You could obviously add to it yourself, but it's kind of an interesting concept, and I definitely used it a lot when I started. So yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say there. I don't know. I think I was going somewhere with that. My mind just kind of like kept chugging along. And on that note, the next section here, the next pages here are the general dates and time zone information, as well as the year at a glance calendar. Since I am using this book primarily as a journal, I am not really going to be using this as a planner, so I don't really have a use for either of these pages. I will probably tab them just to have like quick reference, but that is it. Oh, also I just left a bookmark here, and I left a bookmark in the other place in case I want to reference that page. The next sections here are more of that astrological reference material. This one is all about the zodiac signs, houses, and planets. I'm pretty sure, I don't know if I did a full flip through of this year. I don't remember. The next pages here are the astrological reference guide materials continued. So you have aspects, anything about the elements, modals of the signs, whether you're fixed, cardinal, or immutable, eclipse information, other symbols throughout the book that are quick reference material as well. You also have moon planting if you want to garden by the moon signs. Highly recommend if you've never tried it. It's actually kind of cool to experiment with. It also has a Deacon Tarot wheel if you follow that. It has planetary days and hours, basically which planet corresponds with which day of the week. And then it also has the different hours of the day and what they correspond to with the planets as well as zodiacs, I believe. Whew, that was a lot of talking. Okay, pretty much the rest of the front pages here are just astrological reference information. So I don't really reference this stuff unless it's like the moon page or the zodiac page. I think those are the two I reference the most, and it's usually when I just need to quick glance at something if I'm looking for a specific word or something like that. But if you are a female, this book also has a menstrual cycle and the moon phase kind of notes section. So you have everything you need to know about your menstrual cycle and how it may correlate with the moon, and it gives an example of the comparison chart of like where your cycle is based on where the moon is. Kind of cool. And it also, on top of that, has a tracker. So this is the full page tracker for the whole year, where you have a moon and then a little dot underneath it. I actually do intend on using this as a menstrual cycle tracker because why not? Last year I tried to use it as a meditation tracker, and I think I fell off after 3, 4, 5 months. It was pretty early in the year. I feel like I just stopped updating it because I was tracking my period elsewhere. But I want to give it, or tracking my meditation elsewhere. But I feel like tracking your period is pretty easy if you've been doing it for a long time. And this is just another fun way to look at it. So I'll be definitely using that for this. I'm not really going to be doing any setup here since it already has like tracker cycle by the coloring in the dot or whatever. So I'm going to just leave it at that. Moving on, then we move into the fun pages that are new this year in the planner. These are the Astro Mythology pages, in case you're curious about what your sign is like with the mythological background. Usually it describes the, I guess, symbol, character, like what represents your sign. So like Aries is the ram, Taurus is the bull, Gemini the twins, Cancer the crab. Like it gives it backstory like why it is that, which is kind of interesting to see. And they printed it this year on black paper. I like this. It's on dark mode for me, which is usually what my electronic devices are in. So I don't mind it. I do think it's kind of hard contrast going from the light pages to the dark pages though. But I still think it's a really cool concept, and I think it's a nice new addition for the 2025 books for sure. Next section is the aspects. Again, I'm not doing anything here. As I mentioned in the beginning of this video, I am doing pretty minimal setup with this because the book is mainly going to be journaling for me, and I don't need to just go wild with it. But kind of cool to see if you want to see exact aspects for the whole year like that. And then next page here, we have all of the moon dates for the year. So full moons and new moons for the whole year, eclipses, and then also the retrograde dates for specific planets. And it starts with Mercury and it goes all the way through the asteroid Chiron. Kind of really interesting to see, honestly, how many planets we're having going direct in 2025 and how many are going to be retrograde for almost the whole year. Kind of interesting. Kind of interesting. Okay, continuing on. So next is the intentions or goals pages. This is part of what I am going to be setting up with you guys. So essentially the page here guides you to set up what are the five most important intentions for you for this year. I'm going to write this down in terms of the categories. So like the 8 areas of my life over here. And then unfortunately, I'm not going to be sharing what I write in here this year. I also should probably mention that this is probably the only real video you'll get to see about the insides of this planner, because I do plan on using this pretty personally, and I don't want to have to kind of like censor my writing for myself. Like I want to be able to just dump it all out like a journal. So y'all get to see as much as I can share. I'll put it that way. But the 5 most important intentions for me this year for sure are going to be my mental state or mental goals, which involves things like reading, language learning, making sure that I am staying on top of like my routines, which I really kind of slacked off on at the end of 2024. The next thing I really want to put in here is my love life / relationships. So I'm going to do love and social kind of together here. And that is because I really want to be better about visiting with my mom. I also really want to be better about being present in my relationship. Not that I'm not, it's just I want to do more. Like I want to improve, like continue to improve, continue to grow. And that's something I want to work toward in 2025. Okay, yeah, that came out kind of weird. After that, I definitely want to make physical another really big intention for my 2025 physical. And that's because I really want to bring back my health and fitness. I feel like in 2024, I did really good in the beginning of the year when I was training for my 10K. And then as the year went on, after the 10K, I definitely fell off and really want to get back to the way I was feeling when I was, practicing my runs and stuff like that. Probably will sign up for a race and that'll force me to do it. Number 4 for the 5 most important intentions for me this year is going to be work, or career, if you will. And I'm also going to lump in wealth here. I really want to be better about saving and pushing more of my, putting more money into my business to grow it. I think it's something I really want to work towards. 2024 officially has just been a wild ride with my Dandelion Diaries. I am beyond grateful. I'm beyond words, honestly. I did not expect to have the results that I had in 2024, and I'm very, very grateful. And I'm hoping 2025, they just continue to grow, and I want to put more money towards that, and I want to put more work towards that. So number 4, work and wealth. And number 5 for the last, most important intention for me this year is going to go into my spiritual category. And that is because I really want to work more on my meditation practice. I want to focus more on quieting my mind. I feel like if you've ever experienced anxiety, if you've ever experienced kind of the constant overwhelm feeling, having a brief 10 minutes a day of just ultimate silence, knowing, telling yourself it's okay to sit here for 10 minutes and do nothing, really changes perspective for me. And I'm hoping it would change perspective for anybody else who tries that. But that's something I really want to work on in 2025 as well. So spiritual is my last main intention for the year. Okay, all that being said, this book also gives you a very large section to write this all out. Instead of writing with you guys on camera, though, I am going to just decorate. And I went ahead and just picked a bunch of different PET tape clippings that I have from my stash of London Gifties PET tapes. And I'm going to go ahead and kind of decorate these pages with you guys, as well as title the pages. So this starts off as spiritual, and I can see it says spiritual up here, but I do want to write some words. But let me go ahead and find my scissors. And just had some random washi tapes on here that I got some off, but not all. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and trim these, or die cut these if you will, and then I'll be back in a second and we will decorate the page and I'll show you guys what I'm going to write. Okay, so starting off here, I'm just going to put this one. I'll just put it up here. No real rhyme or reason to this. Just kind of going with it. And I don't have the names of these tapes at the top of my mind, unfortunately. I just know it's probably a celestial one from London Gifties. She has really beautiful tapes. They are vibrant and colorful, and I really love the images she selects. And I like the way she prints them, sometimes with like lifted holographic foiling or even like raised ink. It's really cool. Anyways, let me go ahead and write out spiritual up here. I was going to write something else like meditation, but I don't want to limit myself. So I'm going to just kind of go with the titling they gave here. And I'm just going to write down spiritual. And instead of just leaving it like that, I'm actually going to cover up these top sections here with some washi tape too. Okay, so I think I want to cover it up with some washi. No, I changed my mind. I think I'm just gonna leave it like it is, because I feel like if I add too much to the page, it's gonna just be too much, you know? But okay, that's it for spiritual. Now let's do mental. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim these. I picked books for this section because I guess I could talk a little bit about my goals while I decorate versus just cutting to when I stick stuff down. Okay, so for my mental goals for 2025, I really want to read 2025 books. I really want to read 25 books. I also want to become more conversational with my Spanish practice, to the point that I can hold an actual, like, ask questions and answer questions versus just answer questions, if that makes sense. I have been practicing Spanish for way too long to be where I'm at, and I need to be better about my practice. Also, I have started learning Japanese, and I really want to, scratch that mental itch and learn more in that language, specifically the characters, like writing it, not just speaking it. I think it would be really cool also to be able to read like a traditional Japanese manga and be able to just kind of read it in Japanese versus like an English version, or watch an anime in full on Japanese and understand what's going on without subtitles. That'd be really cool. Yeah. All that being said, mental for me, I really want to just be better about my like mental capacity, like my practice of learning things. Yeah. Words. Clearly I need more mental capacity right now. It is the end of the day and it's really stormy outside and my body's in like, sleep mode. So I probably should have picked a better time to film this, but it's fine. It's the only time I had. It's all good. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to stop talking now. And just like the spiritual, I'm going to go ahead and put mental on this side. But yeah, main things here, read 25 books, and the language learning is the biggest part for me. Next one is work. So like I mentioned, for work, I really want to continue to grow my dandelion diaries. I honestly don't really have a number goal, I guess, for my YouTube channel, but I definitely want to just continue to produce content that, is enjoyed not just by me, but by others. And I also want to get a little bit more creative, I think, with maybe collaborations and see if there's anybody here on YouTube I could collaborate with, or yeah, I really want to kind of continue to grow this channel and also grow my sticker shop. I want to come out with some new types of products, I'm thinking, in 2025. I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I have some things on my list that I'm really tempted to kind of put my money towards and see if it's something I want to do. But I really think those are the main things I want to do for work in 2025 is grow my Dandelion Diaries channel and sticker shop. In case you didn't know, this is my full-time job now. Thanks to all of the support that I got in my first year, I was able to leave my position at a hospital, and yeah, I have been doing this full-time ever since and have absolutely fallen in love with it and will hopefully continue to do this for many years to come. But yeah, really excited for the possibilities of 2025 and this channel and everything else. Okay, I'm going to put this one down here. In case you're curious about like how I place stickers or like why I put them in certain areas, I tried to keep the page looking balanced. So I want everything to be kind of like offset to a point where like there's still enough room for me to write, but there's still enough decoration on the page. So on that note, it's like there's something on each corner down here which balances this side, but then it seems a little off, so I want to put something up here in the middle. And since it's a split page, I don't really feel like cutting the sticker, so I'm just going to offset it on one side or the other. And since I'm putting a title on this side, it makes sense for me to offset it on here. I don't know if that made any sense, but that's how my brain pictures it when I'm doing stuff like this. All right, and the next section is love. And for my goals for 2025 when it comes to love, it's not just, you know, love in my relationship with my boyfriend. I also feel like I need to work on my self-love. Not that, I guess, like, the best way I can put it is like I need to take more time to take care of myself, and not just on a physical health fitness level, but like on a mental level, on a spiritual level, on a it's okay to go take myself on a date if I want to kind of thing. It's okay to, you know, spend an evening in the bathtub if I want to. Like that's what I'm trying to get at. Like self-care, I guess is a better way to put it. I also feel like in the love category, I want to put my family relationships here, but I kind of want to save that for the social category, because I feel like, although I do love my family, obviously, and I appreciate them and everything they've done for me, and, you know, all of the love and support they've given me, I still feel like it's more of like a social thing, because I don't see them every single day. I don't live with my family in that sense, like my extended family, like my mom or my brother or anything like that. So I just want to, I think I'm going to put them in the social category is what my mind is trying to tell me right now. Okay. And I think I offset those incorrectly because I did the same thing, but it's fine. I'm going to just put a love up here. Do I want to do a big L or a little L? I'll do a big L. Okay. The next section is wealth. Okay. Okay, so I only did 2 stickers for this one. That is totally fine. My goals for wealth in 2025, with as much as I can say, is mainly to do a bit more investing. I want to get better about investing my money so it makes, like, money makes money, if that makes sense. So that's definitely one of my goals in terms of wealth. I also want to be better about using what I have, not just in the stationary sense, like this channel. Like obviously I'm using whatever I have in my stash. I'm trying to limit what I'm buying new. I'm also trying to limit just buying in general for stationery, but I'm also trying to use my stuff when it comes to other things in my life. Like I don't need to buy new clothes. I don't need to buy new shoes or anything unless what I am wearing or what I have worn is so like degraded to the point like it's not functional anymore, or obviously not appropriate for, you know, other people to see it. Like if I have holes in my clothes, yes, I need to buy something else. But if not, I don't need to just be buying things to be buying things. So that's also kind of what I want to put in my wealth goals for 2025, is to just be a bit more conscious of what I'm spending my money on, and a bit more conscious of using what I have in my collection of stuff that has just accumulated over the years. And like the other ones, I'm just going to write wealth up here. Okay. And then this one, okay, so this section is the social. So this is what I was talking about, like with the love section. This is more of like relationships in terms of like my friends, but also I want to put my family in here. So I'm hoping in 2025 I can see my mom a bit more. I'm also hoping to see my brother a bit more than just like our normal get-togethers. In 2024 I was trying really hard to see my family like once a quarter, so once every 3 months. And in 2025 I'm tempted to do it once a month. we're all in the state of Texas, but if you live in Texas, you know that doesn't necessarily mean you're close. So that's the only thing that might make it a little bit more than a month at a time, might be every other month. But I'm really hoping that 2025 I can spend more time with them at least. I'm also hoping to spend more time with my friends. At the end of 2024, I talked a little bit about this, but I rejoined, I guess, a Dungeons and Dragons campaign with my friends. One of my friends made homebrewed it basically, and we've been following his campaign for a few months now, and I'm hoping to continue that into 2025 as long as the group stays together. So there is that, and that is primarily my goals for social. I could also lump in social media here, but I feel like, I don't know, because social media is kind of necessary for me in terms of my dandelion diaries, like making sure I'm staying on top of sharing things with you guys, like that's new releases. Also, YouTube is kind of like a social media thing, and I really enjoy making videos. So I don't know if I could lump social media in here or if social media would go more into work. But I will say I don't want to be doom scrolling. I don't want to be wasting my time like just endlessly being on my phone with no purpose, I guess. That's what I really want to do for social media, at least. Okay. And I think there's only one more section. Oh, no, there's two. Okay, next one is physical. And I talked a little bit about this, being that I really want my physical goals in 2025 to be mainly health related. I really want to get back to my running routine. I really want to get back to my gym routine. And I feel like I'm beating a dead horse by saying that over and over again, especially because the last few months of 2024, I was not really good to myself when it came to taking care of business. I also really want to be better about my eating habits, which I feel like everybody always says that, but I have a background in nutrition, and I really feel like I'm just not following my own advice that I used to give my patients. So I just need to be better about that too. So that would also be considered part of my physical goal. Overall health, well-being, and fitness, I think, fits here for me, but also physicality in terms of, taking care of my body. So self-care could also fit here too. So maybe instead of putting self-care in like the love category, I could put it in here and make this really just rounded out, like overall health and well-being of all aspects of my life or something. I don't know. I hope all that made sense. Okay, and then I think the last section is inspiration. Yep. And for my inspiration goals, I guess I only have 2 clippings for this one too. For my inspiration goals, I see this mainly as travel, things that spark my creativity, things that inspire me, if you will. So I definitely want to go internationally somewhere in 2025. And I also want to take some road trips, like just sporadically, like randomly, just get in the car and go somewhere. I'm also thinking inspiration wise, 2025 intentions. I want to be a little bit braver when it comes to my fountain pen inks. So I know that I have gotten a few questions about this, especially after doing some of the Inkment videos, where I mentioned painting with fountain pen inks. I've gotten a couple of requests of people to share my painting like with you guys. I am incredibly shy with them. I'm not, I don't know. I just don't feel like they're good. So they're just like a fun way for me to like use my inks, and I don't know. But maybe I'll use that as inspiration and be able to share that part of my creativity with you guys. I don't know. But I kind of want to see if I could even possibly do that in 2025 for my creativiness, but I don't know. Okay, anyways, I think that is it for this section. Like I said, I am going to be filling this out pretty much off camera because I want to be able to be uncensored with my writing. It's just going to be what's working best for me, but I hopefully gave you guys a good enough idea of what I'm going to be writing in here based on what I talked about. So there's that. Okay, next is the bird's eye view of 2025. And originally I was going to use this for budgeting because I honestly had no idea what I wanted to do here. But one of you viewers actually gave me a great suggestion by doing a daily tarot pull here. I don't think I could do a daily tarot pull. I'm still not quite to that level. I think I might do a weekly one and then write a bit about it in like this section. So like pull a card, write underneath it, like 7 days worth, pull a card, write underneath it, 7 days worth, etc. But I'm not really going to be setting anything up here either because it's already laid out in the table for me really nicely. And once the year starts, maybe I'll use it that way and I'll write it down. Again, I'm not going to be sharing too much of this, so I apologize in advance. Okay, now let's do a monthly together. So the way this planner is set up, you have the monthly overview page, which is the black pages this year with all of the monthly themes. You also have important astrological transits, and then you have the beautiful artwork by the artist on this side. And then you have your monthly pages, and then you have your monthly goals pages, weekly goals pages, and then you move straight into your weeklies. So for the monthly pages here, I am going to go ahead and decorate this with you guys to like show you how I plan on using it. I essentially am going to just take a washi here and cover up the other month stuff. This is a washi from London Gifties. And this just helps me kind of stay within the month versus getting confused about like where my dates are, because there's a lot of information on these pages. So I'm going to decorate it like that for sure. And then I really want to use just my Pentel Sign brush pens to write the months in here. January is pretty well seen on the page. It's not like I have to do this. I just like the way it looks. And I could use a sticker if I wanted to too, but it's fine. I'll just write it in. It's all good. Okay, so there's that. And then I also want to take a highlighter and highlight the aspects that are, like, I guess like the degrees are super, super, what is the word I'm looking for? I'm just going to go with direct. It's the ones that are on the line, like shining the brightest that day. I'm lacking the word for it right now. But essentially I'm going to take a mild liner here and just kind of highlight those aspects. So the cool thing about the Magical Eye books is it will put that text in a different color. So the ones that are direct are in a bluish print and everything else is in a brown print. However, the only ones that are different are the ones that are direct with the moon. And those are just emboldened, so they're a little bit bolder in text than the other transits. And so I like to pay attention to those too because my moon really seems to affect me for some reason. So maybe it's because I pay attention to it. I don't know. But I definitely like to just make sure I'm highlighting the ones that I want to pay attention to on these days. And this also kind of correlates with my take a note, which I'll be setting up in a separate video a little bit later, I think. But I basically reference these aspects and see how it's affecting me personally with my aspects. And I definitely looked into a recommendation that was given to me by a viewer of a company called 𝗦𝘂𝗫. And I ordered one of their books. And once I have it, I will be sure to talk about it because it is a really cool concept of especially having your own personal book, essentially, of like what is going on with the transits and your transits and how everything's kind of matching together. And the only reason I kind of highlight these is to just make it quicker for me to like see it. That's really the only reason. But okay, that is it for highlighting. And if January had a Sabbath in it, I would definitely put one of my scripts in here, but I don't think we have anything until February. And February, it starts with in bulk. So, yeah, I think that's it for monthly. Yeah. I do want to tab everything. The book does have these kind of like shaded tabs, but I want to be extra and do other tabs. So I have a set of my tabs here. These are the new colors for 2024. These are the rainbow ones. But let me go ahead and flip back here to December. We'll start at the back and work our way forward, just because I feel like that works really well for me. And then I do also have a set of blank tabs. These are the sparkle blank tabs, and I'm going to use these to tab the front pages that have the other kind of, oh gosh, it's like the tracker page and the reference info. Yeah, okay, I'm going to put this one down here as notes. And I guess I should explain, if you've never used my tabs before, they are perforated. So they're perforated and shaded, I should say. So you have a little line here that is shaded that you can line up to the edge of the page. And then in the center, there's a small perforation, so they're easier to bend over. Also, if you don't want it to be super sticky, definitely rub it on your finger a little bit and get some of the oils from your hands onto the sticker. And that way it's not super sticky and you could reposition it a little bit if you need to. Just a pro tip there, if you will. I've had plenty of tabs that I've had to remove and it did not go well. So highly recommend doing a little bit of de-stickying just to make it a little bit easier on yourself. And since this planner is bundled, or it has all of the December pages together, all of the November pages together, etc., I'm only using the one set of tabs. Otherwise, I would have two sets, one for the monthlies and one for the weeklies, or one for the dailies, I guess. Decisions. Okay, I finished the first set of tabs here. I went ahead and used the monthly tab that I have on the sheet for my period tracker page, and then the yearly tab for the year at a glance pages here. I'm going to go ahead and just flip all these over. As I've talked about when I've previously done these, I just like to go slow and make sure everything is looking good before I flip the tab over, just because they are permanent, and once they are kind of folded over, they are really challenging to take off if you needed to take them off. So I'm just going to go a little slow here and make sure that it's working the way I want, flipping to the page that I want, etc., etc. Okay, and there are all of the first set of tabs. I'm really happy with it. I'm also glad I went with the rainbow ones because I kind of like it with the rainbow foiling. I don't know, that's kind of fun. Okay, where were we at? January. The monthly goals pages here, I don't think I'm going to do anything with you guys on camera. Just know that every month at the beginning of the month, I will come in here and write down like my manifestations, like, or my intentions, if you will, like the key points of what I want for the month. And then same with releases. So that's the main reason I'm not going to be sharing much of this book on the channel, is because it's going to be things that I'm releasing, things I'm trying to like heal from, and I don't really want that kind of personal information out there on the internet. So that's pretty much the main thing here. For the weekly goals, actionable steps side here, I'm going to be doing the weekly version of the monthly page. So like every week I'm going to go in like, okay, this week, what are my intentions? And then what am I most grateful for the week? Then on the actual weekly pages, I'm going to be asking myself every single day, what do I manifest? What am I grateful for? And what do I release? And as I ask myself each one of those questions, I'm going to write it in the space here. So I'm going to actually do an example with you guys because I feel bad not sharing this planner. So I'm going to go to the very back here. This is essentially January 2026. And I'm going to show an example of like what I would write. So the first question being, you know, what do I manifest? And every day I'm not going to write the same question over and over again. I'm just going to answer it as, you know, I manifest a wonderful day with sunshine, healthy eating, and peace of mind. So that's an example. And I guess I say that right now because it's storming outside while I'm filming and I really want to see the sun again. Then the next question I ask myself, you know, what am I grateful for? And again, I probably won't write the question each time. I'm just using this as an example for you guys. And I could write down, I am grateful for the rain that is watering my garden. Even though there's nothing growing in there, I'm grateful that it's being watered because it's, you know, not coming out of my pocket in terms of the water bill. And then the last question I ask myself, you know, what do I release? And this is a question like I feel like it could be taken any direction. For today, I'm going to write down, what do I release? I release the desire to eat a whole box of chocolate. And that's just kind of a random example, I guess. I do want chocolate. I don't think I could eat a whole box, but that's an example I could put down. You know, like I release the desire to eat a whole box of chocolate. I could also put, I release the desire to buy a fountain pen that I don't need. I release the desire to, you know, stalk that lady on Instagram that I dislike. You know, something, anything that I'm willing to just release from my mind, my body, tension. And I'm hoping by doing these 3 questions every single day, I will get a better mental connection with myself. I will say, after doing the gratitude practice in the 2024 book that I have here, this is the little pocket one. After doing gratitude for almost the whole year, I'm really satisfied with how my mind feels after doing this. Like, I feel like I pay a lot more attention to little things that make me happy, little things that I'm grateful for. And so I'm hoping by adding in these release practices and essentially like intentions for each day, I'm going to get a better grip on my mind. So there's that. I don't really think I have anything else I want to necessarily set up in here with you guys. Like I said, this planner is pretty much just set up right off the bat with everything that it needs, like the information and everything. I am going to tab, I think, the front reference pages that I want. So like the astrological reference guide here, the moon planting, and then also the moon phases. Maybe, I don't know. No, I don't want to mess up my tabs because I feel like they look really pretty with they're all rainbowy. If I feel like I need tabs later, I'll add them, but I think I'm happy with this. So last thing before I do the final flip through of this is I want to put a clear cover on it. Like I mentioned last year, I've had other books previously with the Magic of Eye foiling on the front, and it rubs off over time with lots of handling. So like I'm touching this book every day and it always rubs off the year at the bottom. It has like the whole front of it like kind of rubbed here where I'm holding it. And I don't want that to happen to this book. So I'm going to put this in a clear cover, if you will. The clear cover in question is this one here. It is by 𝗦𝗃𝗍. This is the A5 𝗦𝗃𝗍𝗆 Hone cover. It is meant for the 𝗦𝗃𝗍 A5 Hone books, but happy surprise for me. I think last year, might have been 2 years ago now, I discovered that these fit inside of, or the Magic of Eye book fits inside of the Hone cover. So I am just going to slip this in just to show you guys, and then I'm going to slip it back out because the glare is absolutely atrocious with the lights on right now. But you guys can definitely see that the book fits very well, and it does protect the foiling on the front of the cover, so I don't have to worry about it rubbing off. And it also protects the spine, because when my books sit on the shelf, the spine is important for me to see which year I'm supposed to be looking at. But yeah, the clear cover by 𝗦𝗃𝗍𝗆, the Hone version, A5 or A6. A6 is the one I have on my pocket one. Fits beautifully for this book. But let me go ahead and take this back off, and we will do a very quick flip through since I didn't really do a whole lot for this planner. I just mainly got to chat with you guys about the intentions I have for it, and hopefully give you some ideas if you picked up one of these, if you're not going to be using it as an actual planner, but more of like a journal, like maybe some ideas of like what you could use it for. And on that note, let's go ahead and do the final flip through of this bad boy. So starting off in the cover here, I just have it like itself. I didn't do anything in the inner cover. I wrote my name, my sun, moon, and rising sign. And for all of these other front pages here, I have not really done any kind of setup. Like I mentioned when I was setting this up or talking with you guys as I was flipping through the pages, I don't really have any intentions on using this as a planner. I want to use it primarily as a journal. So just to, you know, be a little bit repetitive here and reshare what I already said. It's not really important to me. Like the front pages are great reference information, but I'm not going to be really using them for their purpose in this planner, at least. The next page here that is technically set up, I didn't really have to do anything though, is the 2025 moon phases and signs. I'm going to be tracking my period, my menstrual cycle here. So every time I get my period, I will put a dot underneath the moon and see how the moon phases correlate with my menstruation. And then after that, the next thing I really set up in here was the goals pages, so, or intentions pages, if you will. And I have not written anything down here because, and I'll say it again, I don't really plan on sharing this planner this year because of the personal information that I really want to put in it this year. But I did show you guys how I set up these pages with the London Gifties PT tapes and writing out the different intentions at the top in bold. I will go back through and write down what I want. I don't mind showing you guys my 2024 version because I did share that with you guys. Where is... So for 2024, I went ahead and just wrote down like a small blurb for each day. Interesting. They changed the paper. I just noticed that. Wow. Wow. Is it really that different? It is. This is like almost white, and this is definitely cream for sure. That's so interesting. Maybe it's unique to the pocket. I don't know. That's so interesting though. Okay, hold on. I need to satisfy this itch really quick. So let me go grab my 2023 book really quick. Okay, here's my 2023 one. Okay, so it must be the big books get the cream paper and the little books get white paper. What? I never paid attention to that. I'm sorry. I'm a little bit astonished right now. Okay, well, there's that. Interesting. But yeah, back to the intention pages. Like, this is how I did it in 2024. So I'm essentially doing the same thing, except what I'm writing in here, I just am going to, it's going to be a bit more personal, and I'm not really willing to share that with you guys on camera. So sorry, but you can at least see what I did in previous years. Okay, moving right along. So I'd finished setting up these pages. Again, I will go back in and write stuff that I want to write, but I'm really happy with the PET tape clippings I chose for each section. Then there is the Bird's Eye View page, or Bird's Eye View of 2025. Originally, I was going to use this for budgeting, but I think I am going to go ahead and do the Daily Tarot. I'm likely going to just write down a tarot card that I pull and the description that I want, and then in a few days do another one. I don't think I can commit myself to doing one a day just because I'm doing so many other things. If I wasn't doing so many other things, sure, I think I could do one a day, but I'm not going to challenge myself. I'm just going to take it slowly and just tell myself I'm going to do one a week, which I think is reasonable. Yeah. Then I set up the monthly with you guys, and this is essentially what it turned out as. I just used some washi tape to block off the edges, highlighted the important aspects to myself, and then wrote January up here with the Pentel Sign brush pen, and then I tabbed the rest of the planner using my rainbow tabs from my shop. Really love how they turned out. I'm not gonna lie, it's satisfying to look at for me. For the monthly goals pages, again, I'm not going to be sharing what I write here, but essentially I will write down my intentions for the month and what I'm releasing, like trying to heal myself from for the month. And then same thing with the weekly section over here. I will write down what my intentions are for each week and then what I'm most grateful for each week. I did go over an example with you guys of what I am going to be writing in the daily pages. So I'm going to be answering 3 questions. What do I manifest? What am I grateful for? And what do I release? So each one of those questions will be answered every single day, hopefully. And I'm hoping it's going to kind of alter my mindset just a little bit. And that is pretty much it for this planner. I'm not really going to be doing anything in the notes pages this year. I don't really have any intentions to write anything in the full or new moon pages. I'm going to be putting all of this stuff in my take a note. So while this is an astrology planner, astrology journal, I'm using it more of like a gratitude journal or a mental health journal, if you will, and I'm using the take a note as my astrology planner. So it's okay. I still love this brand. I still love the artwork in it. I'm still really happy with the book itself, and I'm excited to use it. I just won't be sharing the inside pages because it's going to have probably some really deep thoughts that are personal to me, and I'm not going to put that on the internet. Okay, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to stop talking now because I feel like I've been talking for a really long time. If you have any questions, please let me know down in the comments. I'd love to chat about your Magic of Eye planner if you're using one, if it's working for you, if you're new to the brand, whatever, just let me know. I'm not affiliated with them. I just love the designs that she offers. And yeah. We'll leave the video off here. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I hope you're enjoying planner setup season, and I hope you're getting ready for 2025 because it is almost here. Anyways, have a good one and be blessed. Bye, guys.